Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by TJS Ceramic Studio, Posh Boutique in the Bridges at 57th, The Sky and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire arts and entertainment conversations.
Comedy magician and hypnotist Jesse Moffitt's right. He can't play the piano, but he can sure entertain crowds with his amazing magic and clever quips. His shows always make the participants the stars, especially when they've fallen asleep on stage. They've been hypnotized. Are you the party planner in your group? Then you owe it to your group to make the event magical, even if it puts you to sleep. Here's how.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffitt Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Check out the new ceramic studio in Sioux Falls, conveniently located off Kiwanis Avenue on 5th Street. TJS Ceramics, inside Oscar's Mini Storage. We have thousands of classic vintage ceramic mold items and several new items, too. TJS Ceramics offers classes, special open studio nights, and completed ready-to-purchase items. Bisque studio time or painting parties are available. Visit TJS Ceramics Studio in person today or email tjsceramics@gmail.com for more details.
Are you an artist? Need some funding to further your art? There's a great opportunity for you through a Sioux Falls Arts Council program. The Artist Microgrant program gives away several microgrants to local artists, no matter what art discipline you're in. Unlike more traditional grants, a microgrant is very easy to apply for. Go to artssiouxfalls.org. If you haven't done so yet, create a listing on the Artist Directory, which is beneficial in its own way. Then go to the Artist Microgrants page and apply online. The process is simple. Find out more about the Sioux Falls Arts Council as well online at artssiouxfalls.org.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been such a great pleasure to start off a new segment now that we've been doing about a month, and it is all about recipients of the Sioux Falls Arts Council Artist Microgrant. And there are lots of people that have been receiving them, so we're going to be doing it for a while. But one of my favorite people is here because she received one for her group, Monstrous Little Theater. Debbi Jones, how are you?
I'm great. So happy to see you.
Likewise. And so tell me, when it came to receiving a Sioux Falls Arts Council microgrant, what did you use that for then with your company?
We were applying specifically for Rabbit Hole when we did Rabbit Hole. That show was one of our more expensive shows we'd done, and we were so grateful to receive the grant support to make it happen. It was such a beautiful show. That year, the lead actress, Mindy, won Best Actress at the Sioux Falls Stage Awards. Yeah, and it was just a really meaningful show. Kim Bartling directed. And I'm so grateful that we could make it happen in Sioux Falls.
All right, so you said it was the most expensive show that you'd put on in terms of the rights to it, or what?
Just in general, yeah.
Okay.
At that time, we've had a more expensive show since then.
Okay.
We're still growing as a company, but
right.
But yeah, with the rights, and then paying all of the actors that we did, and then obviously, we hired a director, which when we first started, we were doing shows where we would direct, act, and produce, do everything ourselves. And then we just wouldn't pay ourselves for that, just so that we could make it happen. So the more people we're getting involved, we want to make sure we're paying those artists. So we're so grateful to get more and more people involved. But as we do that, obviously that is an additional expense that we're considering.
Very true. And, the thing that people forget so often is how many people that we have that are involved in arts and entertainment, that it's not just this little hobby thing. It's, a way to make some, whether it be a living for many, but also it's more of an avocation, and people that do that deserve to be rewarded, and not just with accolades, but, with financial support, because even when it comes to, people that are, doing one of your shows, okay, they still have to take time away from their family. They still have to, in fact, in her case, didn't she have to drive from Brookings?
No, she's in Sioux Falls. Mm-hmm.
Okay, she does live in Sioux Falls. I thought she was from Brookings for some reason. But anyway, still, people take time out. They've got gas. And they're probably missing a meal at some point. They need to grab McDonald's on the way. So to be able to pay them, that has to be a great relief for you now that you've grown to that part in your company.
Yeah. And I mean, not just that, but those people are skilled and trained, and that skill and that training deserves a little something as well.
Yeah, especially if it was college tuition.
Oh my gosh. And not only that, but the space itself, space in Sioux Falls, performance space and rehearsal space is becoming more and more difficult to come by without having financial backing for that. So, that was another additional. We performed in the events room at 8th and Railroad, which was just a beautiful, beautiful room. But I mean, if we had been able to add like more platforms, or if we had the money to add more things, it only makes the atmosphere better and better. So just the more things you do and the more people who get involved, the more expensive it becomes. So very thankful for the support of the Sioux Falls Arts Council and their micro grant program. Yeah.
And were you surprised at how simple it was to fill out that application?
So surprised. I think it's such a great thing because so often grants, I mean, just with the grants that I've interacted with through the Washington Pavilion with DAPA, some grants are so complex. And each grant will require something different with your application, and then not only with the application but the upkeep. I mean, we've got a full-time person at the pavilion who just does the grants. Brett Cooper, he's wonderful, because it is a full-time job to be able to like manage those and make sure you're following all of the rules of each different one. So to have something simple that's really just meant to help the artist specifically is just amazing. We're really lucky.
The great thing is with this program, it is for all art disciplines.
Yes.
And I think that is just so great that nobody is excluded. And one of the things that the Sioux Falls Arts Council is very good about anyway is inclusion. And so we're finding out, people are using it to help make shirts and skirts for Native Americans graduating.
Oh, cool.
You've got your program. We've got the people that maybe have a disability or something that requires a little extra attention.
One of my friends is an art teacher, and she's an art teacher in one of the school districts nearby. And she, as an art teacher, you're required to like pay for credits every few years. And she didn't have the money to pay for the additional credits in order to keep teaching, just with all of the other expenses that come with life. And they applied for a grant and got it, and that helped it's just so helpful. And it's like you said, it's amazing how many disciplines and how many areas and how many different kinds of people can benefit from these grants.
So what would you tell somebody that's thinking of applying for a micro grant?
Absolutely apply. Your individual needs for your art are seen and heard and important. And again, it's so simple to apply. I think I wrote one paragraph in my application, but I just made sure to hit the major points of this is what we're doing with it. This is how it will actively benefit the community or, this area. At least that's how it worked for me. And I know it's different for every single person.
Well, I recall that show and it was fantastic.
Thank you.
It, heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
But heart-wrenching good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so great that, because that is one of the things that you do with Monstrous is you go a little edgy, you go a little bit beyond what the typical popular play would be and so forth, just to present something new.
Yeah. And not just something new, but something that we think is meaningful and important and that people will benefit from seeing and thinking about.
All right. And we're glad that you could benefit from a Sioux Falls Arts Council
Thank you,
Artist Micro Grant.
Yay.
All right. And I'll actually be speaking to you here in just a couple of minutes again. All right. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Helping women feel empowered and confident is what Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th does, while supplying high-quality clothing that fits your lifestyle, personality, and price point. Whether you want comfy and cozy, casual attire, or something for a special occasion, Posh provides quality, selection, and value. They carry sizes extra small to 3X and have something appropriate for any age. Feel empowered and get confident. Posh Boutique at the Bridges at 57th.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Support the Dave Holly Hour in a very easy way. Buy Dave a cup of coffee by clicking the cup at davehollyhour.com.
Welcome back, everybody. See, you already started to say it, didn't you? It's always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment. You're getting so used to it now. You're going to be disappointed the day I don't say it again, aren't you? Yeah. Well, that day's a hell of a long way off. But we're going to have fun today, that is for sure, because we have folks from Improv Falls here. We have the man that introduces and closes each show of the Dave Holly Hour, Mr. Zach Dresch. How are you, sir?
If I were any better, I'd be twins.
Yes. We need to make that sticker, too.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Debbi Jones.
Hey.
How are ya?
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Always a pleasure to have everybody on the show. You're all repeating guests. Chris, this is your second time, though. You got some catching up to do with these people.
I do.
Chris Andrews, however, you have been on the show before, and you all are such integral parts of Improv Falls. And recently you found out that you all will be the first group in the new series from the Washington Pavilion, Live and Local.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're so excited.
Yeah, that's coming up next Thursday, the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets right over here, just printed this morning.
Perfect.
We got our seats ready because we try not to miss anything. I think the last time I actually had an event going on.
Yeah, I think you had a Canaries game or something.
Yeah, I had to MC for that night, so I missed out on that. But you guys always put on such a great show, so it's no wonder that when the Pavilion started putting this out there, that they thought of you guys to put in, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. So, Debbie, you're somebody that actually works at the Pavilion.
Yes.
Not particularly in that section because you're at DAPA the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But did you get the early notification then that you guys have been chosen?
No, I found out along with everyone else.
Okay,
Yeah.
all at the same time, huh?
I know. Even the people who were on the selection committee were very sneaky, didn't give any hints. So
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew.
You know, yeah. Is that because you have ESPN?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you did. Yeah. All right, Chris, tell us about your enjoyment of being in an improv group, especially Improv Falls.
Oh man, I really enjoy being surrounded by people who kind of bring me up and make me better. And boy, this group really does that. That charges me up.
Oh, I know it.
Like
In fact, I think they've done such a great job that you really became a superhero, like a transformer once.
That's right.
Oh, such a good memory.
Still one of the greatest bits I've ever seen out of you guys.
It was fun.
Yeah, you take those 2 chairs down to the Icon. But fantastic stuff. Debbie, what about for you? What is it about this group especially then? Because you've been in improv a long time.
Yeah, I mean, our mission is to bring joy and inspire bravery in ourselves and others by making stories on the spot. And honestly, it's something that I constantly need for myself. So I'm just really grateful for the joy and the bravery that these guys give me.
Yeah. Oh, my good friend, dear friend, Zach Dresch. Is there anything that makes you happier?
Excuse me.
Without getting personal, that is.
Right. Oh, sorry, I'm not coughing. I'm tearing up. No. But no, it's improv is the reason why I do everything else I do, and so it when I didn't do it for a couple of years, it felt super weird not being a part of it. And then when we started this up in 2018, it just made sense and it was full circle. So it's the most important thing to me, and it keeps me on my toes with everything else I do. So I cherish Improv Falls, and I cherish you guys, and I love being a part of it.
Well, and the great thing is, a lot of people know you. Well, first of all, they recall you as being, the flu bug.
Actually, also Chris and Debbie are like double-handedly the people responsible for me being flu bug, honestly. Because you emailed me in 2016 about that, saying, hey, you should really audition for this.
Chris.
Yeah. And I actually went through my
20%?
archives.
I don't, but I'm very happy to help.
I went through my email archives because I was looking up. I'm working on a bit where in 2016 they had Nickelodeon and Disney casting agents coming to town, which ended up being a scam.
Yeah.
And I was looking. I just typed in the word audition in my email, and I saw your email from me in 2016 that said you should audition for this flu bug thing.
Yeah, and I didn't really meet you until.
We had met
later.
a couple times.
Yeah, well, I didn't know him very well. I knew of him, and that's when they were asking. I was like, yeah, I know a guy.
So I credit you with that.
Wow.
I honestly, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, people know you for that, but also your stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And how does improv compare to stand-up?
Well, it's a marriage of the two. So I think stand-up comedy is prepared material, but you need that improv background in case things go awry or a joke doesn't land the way you planned it to. And so a lot of the times that improv is that little secret you have in your pocket that keeps you stronger on stage in your arsenal.
I just want everyone to know he patted his butt when he said
He did,
in
didn't
your
he?
pocket.
My pocket, I primarily have butt pockets, yeah.
He scratched his man boobs earlier, too.
Oh, yeah.
That was not.
I didn't see that. But
Be thankful for it, Debbie.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Debbie, how about for you as an actor on stage then? Having that back pocket of improv, how does that assist you?
My favorite part about improv is that it gives you so much freedom to experiment with characters and creating new characters just on the spot, allowing yourself that freedom to just let go of your filters in the sense of like, would this be weird? Would this be too crazy? Or you just get to have fun and make up new things. So on stage, like especially for, scenarios like Bear Bodkins, where you are kind of creating new characters with all of the different characters you're playing. Again, it just allows that foundation of inspiration for all the things you can do when you're acting in shows.
Besides that, you also happen to be a director and a producer with your own company, Monstrous Little Theater. When you are casting a show, do you look for somebody that has that improv?
Not necessarily. We're looking for people who, first of all, can portray the character and who will work well with others. So, I guess with improv, improv really requires great collaborators and great listeners, which is also a key thing in actors as well, is that you're a great collaborator and a great listener.
Yeah. Chris, you are just an amazing actor in many ways. I still applaud you for Lombardi. And after talking to you about that performance, you said that, maybe the lines weren't always the same every night.
Yeah. Maybe I brought my improv to bear. And brought everyone else's improv to bear.
True, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Poor Nancy Tempkin going, where the hell is he going with this, right?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about being on stage in general, whether it be improv, whether it be a comedy or a drama?
My therapist once told me that I liked theater because it gave me permission to experience my emotions, and I always fall back on that. Having just historically not given myself permission to experience everything fully, being in that role where it's your job and you have permission, and by the way, you did it well, you experienced those emotions well, and holy cow, man, for somebody who doesn't always feel everything to the extent that it should be felt, that's a nice blessing. Now, I say that and it sounds like I'm in trouble. Since I've gotten into theater, I can experience emotions fully, and it's wonderful. But that's what I enjoy about it, is really getting into it and really feeling something true and sincere. And I guess that's it.
When did you get into theater?
Really when I came to town. The Boys Next Door was my first show here with Vicki Fuller, and she was the director there, and Jim Leese and a whole bunch of other Tom Cleverod. We had a number of Mickey McInerney, which is not his name anymore, but that's how I will refer to him forever. But anyway, Boys Next Door, what a really great, and Murph was in it, so it was a great show.
Debbie, what's been your most exciting part in improv? Whether it's been a particular bit that you recall or a particular game that you really think is the way that you all perform the best?
See, this is a tough question, Dave, because honestly, after every show, it's like I black out. I'm so like present and in the moment that we do a show wrap usually a couple days after we do a performance where we go through each game. And as we're going through each game and talking about what went well and what didn't, I'm like, wow, I don't remember that at all. That's amazing. Cool. But I mean, my favorite game I think that we play is always Murder Mystery. I love like getting to play out my own twist on what I think it could be and trying to portray differently what somebody just portrayed to me to the next person. I think it's a fun way to connect with the audience too, because they get to kind of see your thought process play out on stage while you're using like mime and gibberish. So it's really fun to.
That is a crowd favorite, that is for sure. And as somebody that has done improv in the past, it's one I'm glad I don't have to be in. Because that's got some strange stuff to it. But it is surprising how things can get conveyed via that, the miming and the gibberish and so forth. And then it's fun to see who nailed it, who got a little different twist on it, and then at the end of the telephone line, who really missed. But it's also great then when the person at the end does know it. And that's such an exciting game to see out. You guys also do long form, but you also, at the end of your long form, then you basically do another showstopper, and you guys call it blind lines. It's been called a number of things. Who decided that was going to be basically the way you close out every show?
I don't know if it was a decision per se.
I think it was just a mutual decision, or mostly unanimous. I mean, like maybe there was a detractor or two, but Chris. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's not Chris's favorite
it's
game.
It's not Chris.
Really? But he's really good at it still.
One thing I've found recently,
especially if it's about an orange extension cord.
One thing I found recently doing like trivia and stuff is that people like to be involved with a show even if they're not in the show per se.
True.
And so we figure closing on a high with something that they're involved with, in my opinion, is a great way to end a show. And so I think that's why we put it at the end. That's my personal reasoning. But sorry to throw you under the bus, Chris.
I am the weirdo of the group with that. People love it. People love it.
Yeah, they do. But doesn't being a weirdo make you that much better?
Yes, that's why I said it.
Yes, I kind of figured you might.
I'm the weirdo here, guys. Let's get this straight.
Chris the Weirdo Andrews.
Put that on your tombstone.
Yeah.
He lies. Chris the Weirdo.
Right.
All right. So what has been your favorite bit that you've ever been in? Or favorite game?
Murder Mystery is really great. I love the long form. I love the story and the art of long form. It's not what we're the best at yet. It's something we're really, really getting better at. But I love the arc out of nowhere, which is that Transformer bit. That was long form, if I remember right.
Yes, it was.
And that was so beautiful. It was technically right, and that's what I love. And, sometimes with improv, you have a game or a show that would be technically beautiful if you execute it right. And sometimes you don't execute it perfectly. And that's kind of the art of improv itself, that, hey, oops, I missed that one, but we have a whole team of people who are backing each other up at the same time. We all know each other really well, and we're a good team. And so, oops, we missed that. Oh, I didn't name you as a character. I didn't call you a name. Hey, we figure it out. Well, we were all in it at the same time, and that's as a long form. If you're going to do that really, really well, man, you have to have a good team to know the patterns and know each other and that sort of thing. It's pretty cool.
Well, when you write your book about long form improv, you can call it the Arc Out of Nowhere.
Arc Out of Nowhere. Right.
But it does take a good team. And, you obviously are here to be on the podcast to talk about the fact that Live and Local is coming up next Thursday. But in the meantime, talk about the others that aren't here today.
We've got some great players on our team. We have Emily Wilson, who is always creating like new big characters. Jessica Graber, who's just like a master professional, like listener and can take whatever you say and just create a story out of it out of nowhere. Bill Ballard, who I love his style of like just kind of like muted listening at the beginning to like create to really build the reality of a story. Michael Sorensen, who's just I don't know how his brain works. He's amazing with his musicianship. That he can just
something so subtle
good.
is so brilliant. It's just something so subtle he'll throw in like if you're in a bathroom, he'll throw in a sink sound. Like, he just knows it, or something else more gross. But like he knows like what to throw in.
I'm so grateful for him. He adds such another dynamic to our team, and it's fun because when he practices with us, he'll like play the warm-up games with us too, so he's learning the skill right along with us.
Did we mention that he's the musician? Did I miss that?
He's the musician.
Yeah. He's the musician.
He plays piano. Yes.
Yeah, which you just mentioned. He plays warm-up games with us. He's hilarious.
Yeah,
he is.
He's really funny. He holds his own with all of us. He's clever.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Okay, so when it comes to throwing in music, one of the other things you started to do over the past couple of years was the Irish drinking song and a few things like that. What do you think is the next step for you? I mean, you've got a musician now. You've got long form that Chris said, admittedly, not your best part yet, but you keep working on it. And
you're welcome, Improv Falls, for that.
Oh, no. Totally. If anybody's ever been in improv, they know that is a bugger to do properly. And it does take that team and cohesiveness and so forth. But is there something else that you want to get to?
Well, we don't want to lay out all of our stars, but we are
close to the best.
Right, yeah. But one of the big things we're working on right now is just cleaning up our communication when we're on stage. So we use various different tools when we're on stage to, communicate like a freeze or a new scene or something like that, or that one of us has an idea that we want to. And we've got so many of those communication tools. We're picking out our favorites and kind of really cleaning up which ones we will and will not use to make the show more smooth and effective and efficient.
Ever looking for new players? Or are you pretty set with what you have?
At this time, we're pretty set. Yeah. Our eventual dream would be to have like an umbrella company where we've got multiple teams under us. Like it would just be so cool to be able to do like, multiple shows even in an evening, to create that culture here. That's in other cities, and we have that vision of down the line of creating that here and with Improv Falls. But yeah, at this time we're fairly set. Okay. But I mean, we would love to, of course, add new players. It's just the logistics of actually getting that to happen and meet the new people and do open jams with them. So our hope would be what we've done with the past actually is done like some open jam sessions where we've had other players come and join us, and then through those open jams we're like meeting people and seeing, oh, they really jive well with us. So that has happened before, because obviously we have added new players over the years. So yeah, but I don't know if that answered your question. So yes, and no. We would love to have new players. Yes, we are.
But you want to make sure you can go far enough to have it that it's more than just an additional player. It's an additional team.
Yes, keeping it sustainable. So yeah, that's
when Jessica joined, I even told her right up front afterward, I said I was so leery of you because I've been in the position before where we've been in an improv group, and somebody comes in and they say they've done this, they've done that, they've done that, they've done that, and gets into a show and goes, I got nothing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so to see her, I mean, that first night, hitting it right out of the park.
Owned it.
So like, oh, man. She's
she's great.
She can work. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Chris, what are you looking about besides improv these days? Any future shows you're going to be in?
Well, I'm going to be doing some stage reading with Monstrous Little Theater in their next reading, and I'm excited about that because I love Monstrous Little Theater and I love these stage readings. After that, I don't have anything. You know, I've got a daughter as a freshman in high school and a son who's in 6th grade in middle school. So I am trying to make sure that
spend the daddy time too.
Yes, absolutely. So that's my first priority. But and that's why improv is such a cool gig, you know, because it's so low touch as far as my personal schedule goes. But we'll see.
No rehearsals 4 nights a week or anything.
No.
Although you do rehearse 1 night a week, but it's late.
That's why it fits, because it's after bedtimes and everything, so it's perfect.
What's up for you, Debbie? Besides about a million things, probably.
Right now, I'm rehearsing for Spring Awakening with the Goodnight Theater Collective. Which has been, we just had one rehearsal. I just had one rehearsal so far, and that's just been a blast. I'm really excited to work with this team and meet. I'm working with people I've never worked with before, so I'm really excited for that. I'm working with a couple former students, which is also very exciting. So that's next, and that's in November. But I'm also directing Frozen Junior for DEPA and choreographing Frozen Junior, so that is a big portion of my plate.
Couple hours, huh?
Yeah. So we're rehearsing 4 nights a week until the end of October. And then I also portray Hattie Phillips for like tourist groups that come through town.
True.
And do like a little history of Sioux Falls. So we've got a few of those coming up. So yeah, it's all a balance. It's good.
Right. Zach, how about for yourself?
Just this week. I got like 4 gigs in one weekend. This is airing Thursday, right? Or
No,
this is Thursday, right?
This is Thursday.
This is Thursday. Yes. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be in Vermilion headlining at the AV Lounge.
Okay.
It was a movie theater. Now it's renovated to be a live venue. So very, very excited to do that. I've got Luke Johnson and Tim Jastrom, who are Vermilion bred people. So I'm very excited to have that be involved with that show. Then the 16th, we got a comedy slam where there's 4 comics competing for the winning comedy tournament at Windy City Bites, and so the winner gets to donate a portion or all of their money to charity. So we're going to be doing that. So that's going to be fun. And then I'll be at Canton Barn Sunday the 17th for a artist mixer event. So I'm very excited about that. And that'll be at I'll be performing at 6:30 p.m. There's like a whole day worth of artists, and it's going to be great. And then I just found out this week I'm opening for Ben Bailey from Cash Cab.
That's right. So
in
that.
October.
Congrats.
I'm very excited. I've never performed at the Orpheum Theater, so I'm really excited that Nate Holtz is opening on that show, who has also done stuff with Improv Fall. So we've been great to have him as a substitute player. That's been awesome. And
along with that, what's his name? Bobby Koyman or something?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, the Disarmed has some fun stuff in the works too. We can't really talk about stuff yet, but stay tuned.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Debbie's like, ooh, she's married to one of the Disarmed. Like, what? This is brand new information.
It is brand new information, actually. So.
And shock
Check
value.
your date book when you get home, Debbie. And by the way, the 17th, so that works great because I thought an event that was supposed to be on the 17th got moved to the 24th. So
perfect.
I can be there.
Perfect.
I can take that in the meantime, one of the things we also need to mention, and it's been a month and a half now since it took place, but congratulations on your Sioux Falls Stage Award.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for what was it called? Titled actually Variety or Comedy Act?
I think it was Best Looking.
Yeah. Well, we know
Most
that.
beautiful
Regardless,
team.
We smell good. It was
Yeah.
something about
best good smelling team.
best good smelling team.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Scent
That's
of the
answer.
year.
And ironic that the 2 co-hosts of the evening happen to be in Improv Falls.
Yeah,
I loved
a little
that.
Right.
sneaky. Yeah.
What
We didn't know.
you didn't know?
No,
Okay.
we didn't know.
No inkling.
No. In fact, we were Emily and I were backstage talking about, well, what if we win and stuff. And I remember we were talking about how we were up against Nate for something, but then Nate won.
Yep.
Oh, it was an individual thing, and Nate won, and we were so happy that he won because
right.
obviously, right? But no, we had no idea.
I know I had a Jamie Lee Curtis moment in the front row, like when she got Best Supporting Actor. She's like, "Shut up!" What? And then Debbie and I were just like high-fiving. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was a great evening, as always. So fantastic job to all of you. And again, you're coming up here next Thursday then. So this will be the 21st of September. What's the time? And is it in the Belbus or is it in the Grand?
Belbus, I believe.
It's in the Belbus.
7:30 p.m.
7:30. All right.
Yeah. Night Shield is with us. Also, shout out to Night Shield. Fantastic hip-hop artist and good friend of mine. And he's going to be great. And I don't know what we're going to do with Night Shield yet. Wink, wink.
Keeping our cards close to the chest.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah,
That's twice now.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
I like to tease people because they'll be like, wait, what's going on? Oh, buy tickets? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The typical last two questions, as per usual. How you answer question number one might determine that we don't need to ask number two. And that in itself is a punchline. All right. So, Chris Andrews, when you are not part of the arts and entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
You know what? I've gotten into stick figure recently. That's like my new favorite musician. This guy named Stick Figure. Yeah, he's like this Americana reggae guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there you go. There's my answer.
Okay, all right. Any other hobbies?
Nope. No, keeping track of those kiddos, and I kind of started getting into stained glass, but it's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah, pick that up again.
Well, we'll look forward to more of that, too.
Yeah.
All right. Debbie, when not part of the entertainment scene, which is like majority of your life, what do you like to be entertained by?
I started a book club with some of my college friends, so that's been fun. We've been reading together and then meeting every few months over Zoom to talk about what we read. So, I mean, I love to read. I was an English major too, and yeah, I love that. And I also just started watching Only Murders in the Building, which is so good.
So good.
Love it.
Yeah, so I mean, I've
Are you
got
caught
my
up now?
shows. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just finished the first season.
This
Oh,
is Thursday.
okay.
She's caught up now.
Oh.
You have 15 episodes. to
15
go.
episodes. Right. Yeah, it's so good.
And then other hobbies.
Other than Netflix and reading right now and playing with my cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
All right.
not at the moment.
Zach.
I've been watching The Masked Singer, catching up and watching The Masked Singer. It's so fun. Some of the times I'm like, the guesses they're guessing, I'm just like, Ken Jeong, what are you doing? But it's such a fun show. I don't know why. I've just embraced the reality game show thing. It's just super fun to watch. We watched a whole season the last couple days. It's been my week off. And another thing I've been doing, I've been listening to as many albums that have come out this year as I possibly can to make the most comprehensive albums of the year list that I possibly can do. I've listened to about 500 albums this year.
Oh my gosh.
So my rule is if I'm not into it by about 3 or 4 tracks, I discard it. I remove it from my Spotify playlist.
Oh.
So that gives me the amount of time to do this. So while I'm working at home, I work remotely. I can just listen to music and just work. And yeah, it's been an interesting list.
Have you told your bosses before that you do that?
No.
Okay, good.
Don't listen.
Yeah.
You didn't hear anything. I don't know if they're going to listen.
Oh.
But it's been fun to do. And yeah.
Any other hobbies then?
I think, play with I have cats. I have 2 cats. We've been taking them outside. One of them loves it. The other hates it. So one of them went outside. Is so cute. It was just like, meow, meow, eats the grass, meow. It's like very sweet. And the other cat, we took him outside and it was like PTSD, just like, get me out of here. So they're both very adorable with how they handle. And we put them on a harness and take them out. That's been another thing. So training our cats to explore different things around our house. And yeah.
You are such a good dad in that way.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, appreciate it. Zach Dresch, Debbi Jones, and Chris Andrews, thank you all so much. Looking forward to seeing you back on stage next Thursday night, the 21st of September, at the Washington Pavilion in the Belbus. And tickets are available online. Just go to washingtonpavilion.org. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Dave.
Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by TJS Ceramics Studio, Posh Boutique, The Sky and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Jesse Moffitt Entertainment, and the Sioux Falls Arts Council. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, simply buy Dave a cup of coffee. Go to davehollyhour.com and click on the coffee cup icon. Don't forget to stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.